Alright, and welcome back. Today's a different kind of story. This one, we're going to head back to high school, specifically actually grade 12, where let's just say I got into a lot of shit. Like, shit hit the fan really quickly, and it was justified for what happened, but the reasoning was bullshit. Like, straight up bullshit. Just to kind of give you an idea, in grade 12, I wouldn't say I was the most popular kid, but I hung out with a lot of people. Like, I was this weird kid who was like, I was goth, metalhead, kind of like emo looking, but I was goofy as shit. Like, I was still who I am. Of course, I hung out with a lot of different groups. The high school I went to, yeah, there were cliques, but nobody gave a crap. Like, everybody hung out with everybody. As long as you're cool, you were hanging out. Everybody just avoided the Yu-Gi-Oh kids who were greasy and played Yu-Gi-Oh all day. It was kind of weird. Like, I'd actually see them argue with teachers because they tried to take away their fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Granted, Yu-Gi-Oh is actually still a fun game, but it was just, my dudes, you're at school, there's a time and a place. Anyways, back to this whole bullshit. So, near about halfway through grade 12, I started going through and dealing with some shit at home and all that. Not exactly sure what it was. All I know is I was just an angsty, emotional fucking teen. Like, I had all the typical first world problems you could imagine. Like, not, rich person kind of problems, but I mean, just issues that I felt were issues, but looking back, they were not issues. I was just so stupid. But I let a lot of it get to me, and I became very emotional at the time. And around that time also, I think I'd been jumped during the summer, and just to kind of feel safe on my way, to and from school and to work and all that, because I went to school on the south side of the city, but lived on the north side. I'd actually ended up getting myself a knife. Now, this kind of plays into later on in the story, and you'll see why. But, yeah, the knife, it probably wasn't the best idea. Fucking 16 years old, I didn't know how to use a knife. Who am I kidding? But anyways, so going through grade 12, yeah, I'd, skipped a lot of classes, spent a lot of time just, fucking around, fooling around, all that fun shit. I'd also spent a lot of time, getting involved with my guitar, doing all that fun shit. But it was closer to, about the middle of grade 12 that everything just kind of went to shit. Now, earlier, like, the day that everything happened, like 2 days before, I just had, like, a guitar concert or whatever. Everything's going fine, but I don't know, I think I forgot to do something at home. My mom was really pissed off and grounded me again. I was grounded a lot, let's just say that. So, of course, I'm at school. I'm pretty pissed off about what had happened that day. And, I'm sitting in the cafeteria, minding my own business. And across the cafeteria, there's kids playing some god-awful music. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but it was just shit fucking music. I was like, hey, yo, can you, turn that down? I may have said it, really pissed off and angry looking, but I mean, I'm not a very confrontational kind of person. I'm a big ol' lovable teddy bear. I look meaner than I am. Anyways, so I don't know. I guess I can't remember if they'd argue with me or what happened, but whatever. Point is, all I did was ask them to turn off their fucking music, and that was the last I remember of it. So anyways, lunch ends, cool, go back to class, and I'm sitting in class, and there's a knock at the door. So in walks the constable, actually, and I'm like, oh fuck, what the hell happened here? Next thing you know, he's pointing at me, and he's like, yeah, you need to come with me. And if you didn't know, technically, when a cop comes to get you like that, he's technically arresting you. So I guess you could say, yeah, I was arrested in class. At times. Apparently what had happened was these kids, okay, quick thing about these kids. I was flirting a lot with one of their friends, and they did not like me, at all. But I didn't care. I thought she was cute. I wanted to get with her. I'm pretty tunnel vision when it comes to that kind of crap, but hey, she was cute. So anyways, these kids, they didn't like me, and apparently they'd gone to the constable and came up with a stupid story about how to apparently threatened all three of them with a fucking knife. And the problem was that, yeah, it was known that I had a knife on me. It's not like I ever really brandished it around. People knew I had a knife. It's just whatever. But apparently these kids were like, oh yeah, he threatened us all with a knife for whatever reason. We felt threatened and shit. And I'm not gonna lie, even the constable kind of was like, if it wasn't for the knife, I wouldn't believe this. You're not that kind of person. And I'm not. I'm really not. I'm very against, conflict of any kind. But the problem was that, yes, I definitely had a knife on me. The thing was, though, is I got really lucky with that knife because it was just under the legal length of a knife. Because apparently, unfolded, you can only have a knife that's about 6 inches long. Anything over that, and it's illegal. It's considered, I can't remember the whole deal with it, but it's illegal. Also, if it's spring loaded or it's spring assisted, it's also illegal. Just so you know. Now, this whole thing became very like surreal to me because as he searched my bag, yeah, he found the knife, he found my smokes, which is whatever. I don't think it was a surprise to anybody that I smoked at the time. But the one thing that ended up sucking the most is when he had to call my mom. And don't get me wrong, my mom's used to getting calls about me at school, constantly about, you know, skipping, being late, whatever. But yeah, I don't think she was really expecting that call. When her boyfriend at the time came to pick me up, I'm like, oh fuck. She's obviously too pissed to come to the school to pick me up. And I honestly thought I thought it was the end of my life right there. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my mom, she can be pretty cool, but fuck. She's got the temper of just psychopath some days. Lord knows the amount I fucked up as growing up. Like, I'm not surprised. I personally don't even blame her. I was an absolute shit growing up. I was a handful. But anyways, so her boyfriend comes to pick me up. You know, we're driving and he doesn't really talk much, which honestly it killed me a little bit. But we get home and it's just, you could cut the tension with a fucking knife. Like, it was bad. Because apparently, they wanted to charge me with having a concealed weapon, threatening with a concealed weapon. I can't remember what the other one was, but they wanted to charge me with all this. And I didn't know at the time, but when I found out, I was like, oh, fuck. But, I sat down and I explained it to my mom, what happened, how it was just like, what the fuck, joke. She was still pissed off and, you know, it got pretty bad. I think she pretty much told me that, you know, I either had to start paying rent or I was kicked out. You know, it got pretty bad. But I had to wait to go to a hearing to really decide what was going to end up happening. And I think that it wasn't for like another month or two when that happened because it was so close to like Christmas break and shit. So I ended up actually working, or I guess not working, but volunteering, I guess, at her boyfriend's mechanic shop or whatever, just to kind of make me work while we kind of waited to see what happened. Like, I was 100% grounded. Like, I could not do anything other than go to his work and then go to my work and then go home. But it was a very like tense and like honestly surreal part of my life at that moment. Like, I was like, oh cool, I got kicked out of school, I don't know what I'm doing with my life now. But once the hearing came around, we sat down and, you know, we brought everything up and it's like, well, the thing is like 3 against 1. We brought up, it's like, yes, I had the knife. I completely admitted to that. But the fact that I had never had any prior, I guess, you know, issues with the law and shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know why everything was dropped, but it was. Everything ended up getting dropped, which baffled me because I was like, well, if I'd actually done it, don't you think the charges would have gone through? Which I think they realized was like, oh, if they're gonna drop the charges, that must mean that, you know, whatever. I don't know the whole behind it. But let's just say I didn't get charged. I did, however, get community service. So we went to the hearing and we sat down and I pretty much had to write an apology letter to, I guess, everyone. From there, I only had to do, I think, 24 hours of community service, which is like, all right, whatever. It's not a big deal. But I was pretty much given like a record of, I guess I was made out to be like a menace to society. Like, the school did not want me back. And I was like, okay, well, fuck. What am I gonna do then? So they said that they would look into some things, you know, kind of figure it out. And once I finished my community service, then they'd let me know for sure. So I ended up going to this like halfway house to do pretty much just janitorial work. And honestly, I think I completed the community service in like 3 days. And then I spent a couple extra days just volunteering because it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. Plus I wanted to kind of prove to them that I wasn't a menace to society like they tried to make me out to be. It was really stupid. But yeah, no, like I said, the main things that ended up screwing me on that was, yes, I had a knife. I was on school property. And it was, you know, 3 people testifying against me. But actually, I think a lot of my teachers ended up actually trying to defend me on that one. Because even they said it's just like, he's not that kind of person. And thank you for all that, because I think that saved me from a lot more shit than I could have gotten into. So anyways, once I did all that, the school board contacted me and they let me know that I was able to actually get into McNally, which is where, if you watch the smoking weed video, that's actually where I brought up, hey, my junior high principal was the same as my high school principal. Yeah, it was him. So getting into the school, he ended up seeing me. He's like, oh, hey, I remember you. I'm like, for fuck's sakes. Plus on top of it, everything that just happened, I was like, oh, god damn it. But yeah, no, the rest of grade 12 went off pretty well. I think I actually got suspended within like a week for smoking. I was like, oh fuck, these guys are really strict. My mom definitely lost it on me there. Holy fuck. But yeah, no, everything else other than that went off pretty fine. You know, I focused, I actually like hunkered down, did all my work, and I ended up graduating pretty quickly. And the funniest thing was, I remember as I was crossing the stage, the principal, he kind of like shake my hand, kind of whispers to me, he's like, so it's like, how was being at the school? And I told him, I was like, oh, it's pretty good actually, like I enjoyed it. The only thing was though, I actually didn't like know anybody there, so trying to make friends in like 4 months sucked, but whatever. No, needless to say, yeah, I ended up getting expelled from school off the stupidest fucking thing, falsely accused, and as far as I know, like all charges were dropped. Like I didn't have to really deal with anything like that, but I was like, all right. And it gave me a lesson on, you know, not getting overly emotional and looking like an angry motherfucker. Now, the fact that they tried to paint me out as being like some menace to society was probably the funniest part, because it was just like, man, I'm the most easygoing, like friendliest person you'll meet. Like I go out of my way to be friendly to people, unless you're listening to some shit music and I tell you to turn that shit off. Because fuck me, I think it was like Justin Bieber, and I was like, God, that shit's terrible. What was the worst thing that ever happened to you in school? Let me know down in the comments. It could be, you know, you got suspended for something really stupid. Were you falsely accused of anything? Were you rightfully accused of anything? You know, just let me know. I'm always curious. Like, does this dumb shit only happen to me? Because fuck, it feels like it. But yeah, no, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you subscribe, like, hit that notification bell, and I'll try and bring you some more stories from my life, because it's all full of some dumb shit. Anyways, peace.